All right, our complex question is how does water change the land? And so our first inquiry we're going to look at today is what happens when you add water to different earth materials. So we have 4 different kinds of earth materials. We have sand, potting soil, gravel, and this is called eco-earth. It's like an absorbing bedding kind of material for animals. So our claim is that the sand and the soil will absorb a little bit. The eco-earth will absorb the most and the gravel will absorb the least. So we're going to go ahead and try that. Okay, first we're going to try the sand.
You can have 15 minutes of TV time, but then you got to do your math homework. Does it work the same way? Why not?
Okay, and we see that it absorbs most of the water that I poured in, leaving a little bit of standing water. So for the sand, for our first evidence, for sand, we're going to say that it absorbed most of the water we poured in. And it left a little bit of standing water. The next one we're going to do is the gravel.
None of your kids will want to play video games anymore.
See, then after this class, I'm going to go.
So we see that the water just kind of surrounds, and it doesn't actually absorb much. Okay? So for the gravel,
Well, and it says, okay,
our evidence will be that when we poured the water in with the gravel,
this has nothing to do with stage 1. There's like
the water
what stage 1?
went
What?
around
So by stage 1, we really
the gravel.
everything that we've covered in the last 4 weeks. Right. Okay.
Okay, the third one we're going to do is the eco-earth.
I don't know if you guys know, but I remember every detail in the book.
Okay.
Oh, I know. It's like 100. I mean, I know. At least you got really read the book. A lot of people don't.
And we see that it's actually still changing, so we're not gonna
I read the normal book.
actually talk about it yet.
I just
But we see that it's actually starting to absorb most of it. Most of the water. It doesn't really leave that much standing water left. So the eco-earth absorbed most of the water, and it left only a very little bit of standing water. And actually, as I wrote, you can see that it actually all absorbed. We use this kind of material to try to model like what a wetland is like. Okay? And the last material we're going to do is just regular soil. So we see that this actually absorbs most of it as well. There's still a little bit of dry in there, so let's see. So it absorbed most of it until I actually kind of flooded it there on the last one. But it does absorb, it absorbed about as much as the sand. You see that with this, it does actually reach a point where it's so wet it can't absorb more, where the eco-earth just still continues to absorb even more. So the soil acted much like the sand, like we predicted, and absorbed most.
He's totally one of the authors of our book. Anyone else notice that?
Most of the water, but not all. Okay, so that was inquiry number 1.
Okay, so our second inquiry is how does water move through different layers of earth? And the different layers of earth that we have are sand, soil, gravel, and eco-earth. So our claim is the water will move through the layers of sand, gravel, soil, and then will be absorbed by the eco-earth at the end. So it'll flow through the top 4 layers. Some may be absorbed in some of the layers, but at the end it will all be absorbed by the eco-earth. So we're gonna pour the water down the tray and see what happens. As you can see, the water is moving the sand, and some of the sand is getting pulled through into the other layers. and it's flowing through everything and being absorbed at the end. The water is moving the sand, creating paths, and it's getting heavy, so the soil is pushing into the gravel. So not only did the water flow through the other layers, it pulled the layers into the other layers. So the sand made it all the way down to the bottom here. The peat moss or eco earth is absorbing the water at the end. There's no standing water. And the layers of soil and gravel just kind of stayed where they were. So our evidence is that the sand moved with the water.
Ketchup can accentuate any sandwich easily. That's for the old version.
The soil
Easily misunderstood.
absorbs some of the water.
And then the first step is foundation for the basic skills. So foundation.
And her costume is pink, and like it was like a green tutu is kind of me. And then you
The gravel didn't absorb any.
It's just like students will understand. Make sure it does not fit. Yes, it should not say that at all. Students don't know how you don't really understand or students still like that. And it cannot be true. Remember, if you
And the eco earth absorbed it all.
don't get married.
So I choreographed their jazz dance and tap dance. The jazz house clean as a wave.
Now it's an interview. You're gonna be like, hey, I don't have
Go.
Okay, so our third inquiry question is, how does water move through earth materials? Our claim for sand is that the water will flow through sand with some absorption. For gravel, the water will flow through gravel. Eco earth, it will be completely absorbed, and soil water will be almost completely absorbed, but some may move through. So first we're going to do soil. And for this one, most of the water is getting absorbed at the top, and then it flows through, and there's some left over right here. Okay, so for the gravel, our claim was pretty much,